Hello, and welcome back to another World Cup Daily on the Chris McPherson Show for the 25th of February. We've got plenty to get through as the Super 8s keep rolling on at the men's T20 World Cup, headlined by England stumbling their way over the line and qualifying through into the semi-finals with a game up their sleeve powered by a captain's knock. Australia's women kick off the ODI leg of their multi-format series against India with a statement win as Alyssa Healy's farewell tour begins. We're also going to dig into the Women's T20 World Cup groups being finalised, Afghanistan appointing a new coach, and look ahead to tonight's Super 8 action. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, get involved in the comments, and of course, check out our social media for those short clips and snippets to keep you up to date at The Chris Mack Show on your favourite social media platforms. But let's get it started. Let's talk England and Pakistan. And England, 166 for 8, chased down Pakistan's 164 for 9 to secure a 2-wicket win. The big story? Harry Brook as captain, promoting himself to number 3 in the batting lineup and dragging England over the line with just the smallest of margins to spare in the end. But Pakistan, their innings, Sabazada Farhan again top scoring and absolutely carrying this team as he seemed to have done most of this tournament. 63 runs for him, Pakistan's most reliable run source by some distance. England turned on the squeeze in the middle overs, led by Liam Dawson, who took 3 for 24. They controlled the tempo, taking wickets and not allowing the Pakistanis to get set. Pakistan, as I said, ended at 164 for 9. It felt like it was defendable, certainly, but it really felt that they might have left a few runs out there in that middle over squeeze. For the English chase, Shaheen Shah Afridi started things off as a nightmare for England, striking first ball, returning into this Pakistan side. Phil Salt was gone early. Josh Buttler then departed for 2. His form line definitely still a major problem for England as they look ahead to the semi-finals. England sunk to 58 for 4 and then 103 for 5, losing wickets to spin and again succumbing to pressure. Harry Brook, though, played the lone hand, gets a maiden T20 International 100. He got it done in 50 balls. He was the only English batter who really took ownership in this chase. He was out immediately after reaching his ton. Again, Shaheen Shah Afridi, this time with a Yorker. England still needing 10, the job far from done. They nearly bottle it as they lose 3 wickets for 6 runs. And Pakistan just had that sniff of a steal, but Jofra Archer became the man to slap the key boundary late to close it out and get England home very narrowly. England are through, but it's still not a complete performance. You can look at that on either side. You can say they may not have that complete performance in them, or you can say they've still got room to reach their ceiling as they get to the pointy end of the tournament. It's certainly been ugly win cricket so far for them. And now for Pakistan, they now must beat Sri Lanka and rely on results elsewhere to find their way through to the semi-finals here. We move on to the women's cricket, and we're going to talk Australia versus India. And Australia, 217 for 4, have chased down India's all-out 214 to win by 6 wickets. And it's fair to say Australia needed a big response after losing that T20 3-game series as that leg of the multi-format series. They were hit with a pre-game blow, though. The Aussies, Elise Perry and Kim Garth, both ruled out of the one-day international matches with quad strains, which is disappointing. The early breakthrough, though, for Australia when India were batting first. Megan Schutt swung one back to remove Pratika Rawal, LBW's second ball of the innings, and get on top for the Aussies. India then dropped back to 52 for 3. Australia well controlling the start. And surprise, surprise, it was Smriti Mandana who came in and stabilised the innings with a nice 50, getting to 58 in the end. Harmanpreet Kaur came in as well with the rescue job, posting 53 late. Strong support as well from Kashiv Gautam. She picked up 43 from 44, including a number of maximums. Australia, with the ball, they shared the wickets around well. Ashley Gardner, 3 for 33, had able support from Alana King and Talia McGrath on her return into Aussie colours. For Australia's chase, well, it was the fairy tale start for captain Alyssa Healy. She returned to the side and anchored with 50 off 70. She was steady. She was composed as she so often is. She set the tempo for the chase. Australia not needing huge runs, just over that 4 and over. Phoebe Litchfield chipped in early, but she felt some really sharp work from Rika Ghosh. And then it was the match-winning control, the experience of Beth Mooney, 76 not out, the youthful exuberance of Annabelle Sutherland, 48 not out, finishing the job. But it's fair to say the turning point was India dropping Annabelle Sutherland in the outfield, an absolute dolly of a catch. She was on 16 at the time, and Australia don't look back. They power towards the end to seal a 1-0 lead in the one-day portion of this series. Something to watch, though, for India. Harmanpreet Kaur does leave the field during the chase with a left knee issue. That is a big concern. She is such a key cog, as we touched on there. She was crucial in their setting of the 214 with another half century, and without her, they lose a huge amount of experience. We switch now to news, and we talk the Women's T20 World Cup. The groups have been confirmed for the tournament, which will run from June 12th to July 5th across England and Wales. The final being held on June 5th at Lords, but the groups, Group 1 will contain Australia, South Africa, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and the Netherlands, while Group 2 will be the West Indies, the hosts England, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, Ireland, and Scotland. A few of the key fixtures that came out with the groups being determined and the fixtures being released. England and Sri Lanka will kick things off at Edgbaston on the 12th of June. Australia's big opener will come up against South Africa on the 13th of June. That is a huge match. And then you go to June 14th to keep things rolling. The big rivalry, India and Pakistan again at Edgbaston. The semi-finals will be played on the 30th of June and the 2nd of July. And as I said, the final, the 5th of July at Lords. So not long now, just under 4 months until that one will get underway for the Women's World Cup. Another piece of news as well, Afghanistan have appointed their new head coach after Jonathan Trott, who stepped down after the World Cup campaign. And they have appointed Richard Pybus, the English-born coach, to be their head coach across all formats. Pybus will start ahead of the Sri Lanka white ball series that starts for Afghanistan in the UAE in March. So congratulations to Richard Pybus. We look forward to seeing what the next era under him for Afghanistan looks like. But time to close things out with our preview ahead of tonight's T20 World Cup. Continued action, and we've got Sri Lanka up against New Zealand on home soil. Sri Lanka, they're essentially in must-win territory after that English collapse in the first game of the Super 8s. They really need some clarity here. The last game seemed it was indecisive, and when they did make decisions, they were messy when they were playing on that tacky surface. A lot of work to do here for Sri Lanka. There's a lot of pressure and expectation at a home World Cup, and this is their time to shine against a New Zealand side that hasn't played for nearly a week. It is time to step up here for Sri Lanka. For New Zealand, the key factor is Mitchell Santner. He has a strong record against Sri Lanka. He returned to the side in that game that was washed out. So, yeah, certainly we'll look to use the strong conditions here and take things to the next level, and certainly should suit here at Katarama. For New Zealand, batting has been the tournament best on the flatter decks. They now have to adapt to these more spin-friendly conditions, and how do they take that on? That will be a big question. For Sri Lanka, Dunith Walaj is central to their control overs and their wicket-taking. He's going to be such a key cog here. If their batting can fire, he will have something to work with and something to defend. He's also probably going to be expected to take some batting responsibility as well. Looking forward to that. That will get us through 2 games each for all teams in Group 2 of the Super 8s, and will give us a real look at the picture of the semi-finals for that second berth. England already through, the other 3 fighting for one spot. Well, as I said, England are qualified. Australia's women, they've levelled the multi-format series, and we saw the Women's World Cup groups are locked in. Sri Lanka now face a pressure cooker game, as do New Zealand. To be realistic, they don't want to be relying on other results in the group. Well, a big thank you to you for tuning in. Make sure to hit like on the video, subscribe on the channel, get involved in the comments down below, and of course, make sure to follow along on our social media channels at The Chris Mack Show on Instagram, TikTok, X, and on Facebook, of course. And we look forward to seeing you again on our next daily dose for the World Cup tomorrow. But in the meantime, I thank you to you for tuning into the home of Black and White of Sports. No great opinions here.